Hello, it's me again, Ryan. Say it's the best I can do. I'm the only one here. Pretty well angle here, best I can do. So I'm going to start with taking the caliper off and everything else. Just follow along and see how it goes. Using a 13mm start socket. Like I said, well, those are for the unit bearing bolts. I'll do those next, but I got to take the brake caliper off. Brake caliper is a 21mm socket. I broke it last time pretty good, so it should come out pretty quick here. Like so. That one's loose. There's only two of them. Pretty easy. If you can see it. Sorry, my arm's in the way. It's broke loose. Top bolt. Can't paint it about to get to, but I'll turn it here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. There we go. You can see it. And the camera angle isn't that good, but like I said, I'm the only one doing it, so. But pretty simple. Okay. Caliper's loose, so what I like to do, if I can, post it up here. It shouldn't be in the way. What I like to do too is put the bolts back in the caliper, just like anything else. You don't want to lose them. Like that, you know where they go. Okay. See, this came loose, which is fine because I had a torn apart once already. Most of the time, if it does not come apart, if it's stuck like this, I got a metal one. I wouldn't use it, advise it. A brass or a plastic or rubber plastic. Tap on the rotor, turn it as you're tapping it, you know, tap it here and turn it, eventually it'll break loose, and ta-da, you'll have dents on there too, but not a big deal. Now you have the 13mm, make sure it's a 12 point, trust me, you'll have three of them. You'll have one right here, and you can't see it, but there's one right back here. Okay. What I like to do to get to it real easy on these is spin it where you can get the gap right here. If this don't fit, you always put an extension on it, but this fits. So what I'll do, like I said, I had this part once already, so it should break pretty loose. Sure enough it did. This is a 2017, only 25,000 miles on it, so yeah. Should come off pretty quick. Next one. Get them loose. Make sure they turn pretty quick. Like I said, this has been part before, so not a big deal. Okay. Next one. Do is turn the steering knuckle if you can. Make sure steering wheel is unlocked. Mine's a manual transmission, which it doesn't have all the accessories and bells and whistles. It's pretty standard. Same thing with this back one, make sure you turn it. I know you can't see it, but it's back here. Should turn pretty easy because I broke it apart already. Okay. What you can do with this now to break this loose, there's a couple ways of doing it. If you want, put this back on here again. Put a couple of your bolts on there, and you can put it on backwards actually. Works better yet. Put it on here and then you can slide hammer it off. Okay. Which I didn't have to do that at the time. I had to get an Allen wrench to fit my ABS sensor, which is important. See, this ABS sensor is a 5mm Torx head. Okay, pretty simple. Take it out. Very important, you don't wreck anything. Sensors are very expensive. I know this model it is. Look it out with your hand. Should come out pretty quick, pretty easy. And kind of finesse it around best you can. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate, sometimes it does. So, if you have it loose, that's great. As long as you don't wreck it. Okay. If you can't get it out, just leave it loose like that. And once you have this out, it'll come out just enough to get that out. So my advice to you is once you square it back up again, take these all the way out to the point where the threads here, these nubs, unthread it to where they're barely sticking out. Okay. Like I said, this was the part before, and it should be pretty easy. Take the hammer, tap on the back of this. Okay. Come over here, tap on the back of it. Tap on the back of it again. See how it's gapping right there? Just go back and forth, back and forth. And as soon as it's loose, see it's loose, it's not going to fall out. Now I have ABS sensor I can pull out. Again, make sure it's out of the way. I put it up and out of the way. Now, this has been loose before I took the impact to it. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, a lot of times this shaft will follow it out. What I like to do, since you're not going to use this, or if you're going to use this, put a punch here, which I'm not going to use the shaft again, is I'll take a flathead hammer, or again, plastic hammer, take it, I'll tap in like this, and it'll suck it back in. Now I can take these bolts loose, I push it back in, wiggle it, do the bottoms, that way it's much easier. As you take it out, make sure this is straight, much easier to take out, much easier. Okay. You got to finesse this around. If it doesn't like to come out, which now it does. Once you have these out, they come out pretty quick. Okay. Okay, have them out. Put your thumb in here, press on it. Just slide right out with your dust shield and everything else. Pretty simple again. Now, the shaft itself, you can do it two different ways. You can pull it out, which is going to be, once I pull it out, there's going to be bleeding down here and down. But, you know, for $5 for fluid, that's pretty cheap insurance. Okay. The drain plug, you can't see it, on the dips, is right in the bottom right here. Pretty simple. 3/4 inch ratchet. Pop it in there. Sometimes they're a little finicky, so you have to lay down on the job and get it. Bust your knuckles. Gonna do it. This has been changed once, so it should be pretty clean. Let's see my head. Which is really, really clean, which is good. Changed it before, it had a little bit of metal shrapnels in it, but you know, for 20,000 miles, I'm sure that was going to break in for it. A little spillage, no big deal. Okay. Let it drain for a little bit. Get ready to clean that up. The garage is meant to have stains in it, right? So anyways, put that there. The oil's pretty well drained out where it's barely dripping. Pretty easy. There's this straight. Give them a couple taps. They're kind of clipped in a way. So you can kind of cheat on it if you want, which I do anyways. Tap it. Give a couple love taps. When you tap it, make sure you tap it back here and it pulls right out. Okay. On these Jeeps, you don't have to worry about holding it because see that plastic ring right there? You can see it. Right here. This keeps it from this end dragging on the axle as it comes out and all that. When it goes back in, it keeps this off the housing, which in turn it doesn't tear the crap out of the seal. Okay, this is pretty clean. The fluid's been changed and stuff like that. So it's nice about these rings. You don't have to hold it up. I'll pause the video and replace the factory stub with the aftermarket. A couple ways. I got a press or I got a vise. You know, honestly, it all depends on how I feel, whatever like that. I'm going to try to save these U-joints. Only got 20,000 miles on them. They're doing really good, actually. No leaking or nothing. I'm going to basically take it apart and re-grease them. Pack them full of grease again and put them in. So it'll be like brand new. Okay.